Hi, this is Safe Charlie. I wanted to talk to you today about proper following distance. When you're driving, to give yourself the extra distance to make sure you're not involved in a collision, to give yourself time to think and act, to make sure that you're in the proper position to make the necessary turns and maneuvers you need to avoid a collision or a crash. While they use the word accident, an accident is an unfortunate event resulting in an unavoidable cause. But when you're talking about motorized vehicles, you're talking about a collision or a crash. Hence, a crash, you hit something stationary. A collision, two vehicles hit that were moving. So there you have the difference between the two. Today, we're going to talk about following distance. One of the things that I find that a lot of people don't recognize that physics plays a part in stopping. They don't realize when you step on the brake pedal, a series of actions take place. You step on the brake, it pushes the master cylinder, that pushes fluid through the brake lines, that pushes the brakes together, be it if they're rotors, it compresses the rotors in a sandwich-like position, and it starts to create a maximum amount of friction, and the wheels start to stop turning. If they're drum brakes, the cylinders expand the brake shoes against the drum, creating maximum friction, and thereby slowing the vehicle down to a stop. So when you stop, it's just not you stepping on the brake pedal. It's a lot of things that take place. But if you're too close to someone and you haven't figured out the stopping distance formula, perception, action, vision, total stopping distance. If you haven't figured this out, the next thing you know, you're going to run into someone. Give yourself the proper following distance to give yourself time to think and time to act to avoid being involved in a collision. If you're on the road, I'd like for you to use the seconds rule. There are a couple different principles to apply. One, they say you should use a car length, but if I drive a Volkswagen and you drive an SUV, the distance is different in length. But what we're going to do is we're going to apply the seconds rule. This is how that works. When the rear bumper of the vehicle in front of you passes a fixed object, your front bumper shouldn't get to that same fixed object before you count to 1,003 for safety. The state says, a lot of them say 2 seconds following distance, but for safety, I would recommend you use 3 seconds. And this is how we're going to apply this principle. When that rear bumper passes that fixed object, you count 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Your front bumper shouldn't get to that same fixed object that you were using to use your count. If you get there before 1,003, if your front bumper gets to that same fixed object, you're following too close. You're not giving yourself time to think and act to avoid that collision. This is a conscious application. Checking your mirrors left and right, looking up and down the road to make sure it's safe and clear in your turn, looking for possible hazards and dangers. I want you to be safe on the roads, and there are some things that you can do, of which one I just told you about, the principle of following distance. That's your out, ladies and gentlemen. If you're too close to someone when something goes wrong in front of them, you're going to get involved in a collision because they were too close to the vehicle. You're the one that has to take charge of your safety. Defensive driving is an attitude and a choice, and you choose every mile you drive. But I want you to keep this in mind. Your safety is my concern. And I want you to have an enjoyable journey to your destination or turnaround point and do it safely. I'd like for you to always apply my 4 ACEs. Always yield right of way. Always use extreme caution. Always expect the unexpected. And always watch out for pedestrians. If you apply my 4 ACEs, you should be able to get to your destination and you won't be upset. You won't be stressed out because you're expecting people to do things wrong. Why? Because they don't have the driving skill that you have. They don't have the driving ability you have. They don't have the driving knowledge you have. Always remember safety, safety, safety. And when in doubt, safety. But without being a hazard, you're checking your distance as you're applying in the traffic system. You're looking left and right. You're looking up near and far to make sure it's safe and clear and you turn safe out there. Thank you. Bye.